Okay. Ang voltage divider circuit ay isang circuit na kung saan pwede nating pwede tayong kumuha ng output voltage from an input voltage that is lower than yung input voltage. And tawag dito, maraming iba't ibang applications ng voltage divider circuit. Okay, nakita natin na tawag dito kung paano i-treat ang voltage divider circuit at kung paano siya gamitin. Okay? Ngayon, let's consider other circuits and other devices or other DC circuits, beginning with a current divider. Okay, dali lang. Okay. Medyo may lag between yung yung sinasabi ko at saka yung screen. Sinusulat ko. Tama ba? May konting lag ba? Yeah, okay. Sige. I think wala akong magagawa dyan. Pero sige lang, let's continue and I hope maka-catch up yung screen. So sa voltage divider circuit, ang meron tayo, okay. So sa voltage divider, if you recall, we have a DC source, okay, at nakakonekta to sa at the very least two resistors. Okay, so ito yung V input natin and we take the output across one of the resistors R1 tsaka R2. So in a current divider, okay, ang meron tayo is a DC source. Okay. At imbes na yung resistors ay naka-series, naka-parallel yung mga resistors. R1 tsaka R2. Ito yung VE natin. But dito rin tayo kukuha nung output. Okay. Turns out na yung output ay equal sa input kasi parallel naman tong current divider. Diba? So yung input ay equal sa output. So typically, if you want to tawag dito, since this is a current divider, ang gusto mo talaga namang gawin dito is to sort of get the correct current for your device. So, kumbaga, tatawagin nating load yung device na yan. Kumbaga, mag-introduce tayo ng load dito. Okay, so, lalagyan ko lang ng ibang kulay. No? So, tatawagan natin itong so it's also a resistor. Lahat ng load, okay, ay isi-symbolize natin by a resistor kasi lahat naman talaga ng types ng devices ay merong internal na resistance. Okay? So, yan ang ginagawa natin dyan. Contrary sa voltage divider, yung load dito natin ilalagay sa output. Okay? So, yan yung device na kung saan gusto nating applyan ng voltage at ito naman yung device na kung saan gusto nating applyan ng panibagong current. Okay, so if you recall sa voltage divider circuit, yung V out is equal to Ri divided by yung total resistance times V in. Okay, dito we have an input voltage, okay, which is equal to yung total resistance, sorry, which is equal to the total current, okay, times the total resistance. Okay. Total current times the total resistance. At yung output natin dito can be any of the resistors, di ba? So let's say Ri and then times yung input na voltage. Okay? So ang mangyayari dito is yung input na voltage is also equal to yung voltages across each of the circuit elements. So it's also equal to yung voltage across the resistors. So let's say equal yan sa R1 V1, di ba? Equal yan sa R2 V2. Okay? Kasi nga parallel yung mga circuit elements na yan at equal lang yung voltages nila sa isa't isa. Okay, so this means okay, na yung current, okay, dali Okay, yung current, okay, makukuha natin from, so input voltage to. So equal to ngayon sa IT times RT over RI. Okay, dilipat ko lang yung RI dun sa kabilang side. Okay, so which means I have to divide the left side by RI. Okay, ngayon yung input voltage na yan, okay, ay equal dun sa current through the resistor, okay, times wait, mali naman kasi. Di ba dapat current to? Okay. Yan. Okay. So R1, I1 equals to R2, I2. Okay. Okay. So I sub I. Okay. So for example, yung current through I1 ay equals sa total current multiplied by the total resistance divided by R1. Okay. So, yan ang ating voltage divider circuit. Okay, so yung output, so bali ito na yung output current natin, okay, ay equal dun sa total resistance divided by the resistance across one circuit element times yung total na current. Okay. And makikita, siguro mas magiging klaro to from an example. So let's consider this circuit. Okay? So let's say na yung current na dumadaan dito is 10 milliamperes. Okay, tapos ito ay R1, R2, R3. Okay, where R1 is equal to 220 ohms, R2 is equal to 330 ohms, and R3 ay equals to 680 ohms. Okay. So, if we want to know kung ano yung current through I1, okay, so current dito, so I1, okay, so basically we have I1 equal to, from the current divider equation, the total resistance divided by R1, okay, times the total current. Okay. the total resistance is obtained from, since parallel sila, di ba? So it's 1 over 220 ohms plus 1 over 330 ohms plus 1 over 680 ohms. And then you take the reciprocal of that. Okay. So that's equal to 111 ohms. Excuse me. Okay. Which means na yung current, okay, dito, okay, I equals 111 ohms divided by R1, which is 220 ohms, times yung total current na 10 milliamperes. Okay, and that is equal to 1.63 milliamperes. Okay, similarly, we can solve for I2 and I3. So I2 is equal to yung total na resistance divided by R2, which is 330 ohms times 10 milliamperes. So equal na yun to sa 3.36 milliamperes. And also I3 equals the total resistance divided by 680 ohms times 10 milliamperes. So ito naman ay equal sa 5.05. Wait, mali. I1. So ito ay 5.05. At ito ay 1.63 milliamperes. Okay, so dito, ang merong current through R1 is 5.05 milliamperes. Dito naman, 3.36 milliamperes. Okay, at dito ay 1.63 milliamperes. Okay, and if you notice, mag-add up yung tatlo na yan to 10 milliamperes. So, dito makikita natin kung paano nag-work ang voltage divider circuit. It works because meron kayong junction dito. And through each of the junctions, nadi-divide yung current. Okay? So, yung current dito is 5.05 milliamperes at yung current dito is 4.95 milliamperes. And then, pagdating dito, magiging 3.36 milliamperes. And then, dito naman, magiging 1.63 milliamperes or 1.64 kung ano, para maging exactly 10 milliamperes. Okay? So ganyan nag-work ang voltage divider circuit. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so in this case, if you want to find out kung ano yung power, okay, if you recall, yung power through each of the circuit elements, okay, equals I squared R or V squared over R, okay, or equals I times V. Okay, so para sa mga circuits na ito, so P1, since alam naman natin yung I, okay, that is passing through, so I1 squared R1, okay, that's passing through the R1, it's 5.05 milliamperes squared times R1. Okay, ang R1 is 220 ohms. Great. So let me just do a quick calculation. 5.05 times 220 ohms. Right. Okay, so this is equal to 5.6 milliwatts. P2 ay equal sa I 2 squared R2. Ang I2 is 3.36 milliamperes squared times 330 ohms. Okay, so dali. So 0.36 squared times 330. So this is 4.2, 4.2 or 4.3 or 4.28 milliwatts, 5.61. And then P3 ay equals sa I3 squared R3 equals 1.63 milliamperes squared times 680 ohms. Okay. 680. Ay, okay, 1.8 milliwatts. Okay. So, medyo straightforward naman yung calculations. Okay. Okay. What about yung total na current? So, yung total na current is 10 milliamperes squared times 111 ohms. Okay, so 0.01 squared times 111. Okay, and this is equal to 11, 11.1 milliwatts. Okay, so we check 5.61 plus 4.28 plus 1.8, 11.7. So this is, in total nito is about 11.7 milliwatts. Okay, so merong konting discrepancy, okay, between them. But I think it's just a matter of yung rounding off na error. Okay. Okay, any questions? Okay. Again, marami ring applications yung current divider. Pero mas commonly used yung voltage divider. But it's important to recognize, okay, kung tawag dito, kung ano yung voltage divider, tsaka, or it's important to recognize na dun sa circuit mo ay merong voltage divider or meron ding current divider. Okay, para malaman nyo kung paano i-analyze yung isang circuit. Okay. Okay, any questions? Wala. Madali lang, di ba? So far. Okay, so let's do another exercise, a troubleshooting exercise. Okay, na-solve niyo ba yung problem o yung quiz? Yep. So, ano ba yung naging problem? Ano yung problem dun sa circuit na yun? Okay. So ito yung part 1. Okay. Ito yung circuit na pinapacheck ko kung ano yung anong naging problem dito. Saan? Aling resistors? Kaya syempre, di ba kailangan nyo sabihin, itong resistor ganito. Okay. Okay, sige. Shorted yung R4 tsaka R5. Okay, makikita naman natin na shorted sila. Okay, kasi yung total current dito, okay, yung total current dito, kung itong tatlo lang is 300 ohms. Okay, and then if you divide 10 volts divided by 300 ohms, that's exactly 33. Okay, 0.3 milliamperes, which means na ito walang effect, di ba? Pero hindi naman sila pwedeng tawag dito, open. Okay, hindi sila pwedeng kailangan shorted sila para makapag-form ka pa rin ng complete na circuit. Right? So R4 and R5 are shorted. Okay, and that's why you also get zero voltage across them. Okay, now, so may isang sumagot sa inyo na bypass ang resistors 4 and 5. Okay, when you say bypass, iba yung ibig sabihin nun. Okay? Pag sinabing bypass, I mean, 'di ba, sa Pilipinas maraming bypass roads. Okay? So ibig sabihin, dadaan ka sa ibang hindi mo dadaanan yung R4 tsaka R5. Okay? Yan yung ibig sabihin ng bypass. So it's not, when you say bypass, hindi siya, for this type of analysis, it's not the correct, it's not the correct way to describe it. Okay? Okay. So now let's go to circuit analysis for troubleshooting for the current divider circuit. So, dito, ano ang naging problema nung circuit na ito? Anong problema sa circuit na ito? Okay, any guess? So kailangan niyo muna mag-compute, ano? So first, ano ang total resistance? Sige, pagtulong-tulungan natin ito. Ano ang total resistance dito? Total resistance ay 1 over 4.7 kilo ohms plus 1 over 10 kilo ohms plus 1 over 8.2 kilo ohms. And then kunin niyo yung reciprocal. Anong resistance? Okay, 2.3 kilo ohm. Hindi bang nakuha ng iba? Okay. Yes, okay, good. So ang total current ngayon na ine-expect natin is 25 volts divided by 2.3 kilo ohms. So ilan yan? Nasa bandang 10 plus, di ba? 10.1, tama ba? 10.87, 10.9. Okay, 10.9 milliamperes. Okay, 10.9 milliamperes. So, ang nababasa ng ohmmeter is 782 milliamperes lang. Okay, 7.82 milliamperes yung nababasa niya. So, ano ngayon ang problema dito? Saan nakuha yung 7.82 milliamperes? Okay, pwede kayo mag-hypothesize. Okay? So, sabihin nyo, okay, anong hypothesis ang pwede? Pwedeng sabihin nyo na yung isa sa mga resistors ay tawag dito open. Okay? Hindi pwedeng shorted yung isa sa mga resistors. Bakit hindi pwedeng shorted ang isa sa kanila? Well, hindi, yes. So, isa sa mga sagot ng kaklaseng yes, dapat mas mataas ang current pag shorted. Well, hindi lang yun mas mataas. Doon dadaan lahat ng current. Bakit sila dadaan sa path na merong resistance, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, halimbawa, let's say na yung R1 ang shorted. Okay. Hindi sila dadaan sa R2 tsaka sa R3. Right? Dahil merong R1 na shorted. Right? So, yung current through R2 at saka R3, if R1 is shorted, will be 0. Okay, so ang sinasuggest niyo is open yung R3. So, kung open yung R3, ibig sabihin, di ba, para siyang switch na naka-open na ganyan. So, walang dumadaan na current yan. So, let's consider yung total resistance ng R1 tsaka ng R2 lang. So, this is 1 over 4.7 kilo ohms plus 1 over 10 kilo ohms, and then yung reciprocal niya. Ano yung total resistance dito? Lalagay ko lang RT1, 2. Okay. May nag-compute na ba? So, 1 over 4.7, 3.205. Yun di ba ang nakuha ng mga klase nyo? 1 over 4.7 plus 1 over 10. 3.19. Okay. 3.19. 3.19 kilo ohms. And in this case, ano yung total na current? Okay, pag 1, 2 lang. So 25 volts divided by 3.19 kilo ohms. Okay, ano magiging sagot dyan? So ang magiging sagot dito ay 7.82 milliamperes. Okay, which is exactly yung nakikita niyo rito. Okay, so this verifies yung hypothesis ninyo na yung R3 ay open. Okay, so walang dumadaan na current to R3 at meron lang current na dumadaan sa R1 tsaka R2. Okay, good. Magaling na kayo sa pag-analyze ng circuit. Okay. Any questions? Wala. Okay, now let's go back to the circuit, voltage divider circuit. Okay. And lagyan natin ng load. Okay. So nabanggit natin earlier na pag sa voltage divider, yung load ay dito natin ilalagay sa output voltage. Sa current divider, yung load ay nilalagay natin through one of the branches. Okay. Dun sa uh, dun sa circuit. Okay. 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 So, okay. So, mali po ba yung reasoning? Okay, may question lang. Q1, mali po ba yung reasoning na bypass po yung R4 and I5 and instead yung tama pong reasoning is there's a short on both R4 and I5? Or is there a short from A to B? Okay. Pareho lang yun. Short from A to B or short dun sa R4 and R shorted yung R4 and R5 resistor. Okay, pareho lang sila. Okay, bakit hindi tama yung bypass? Kasi nga yung bypass means na hindi mo pinapadaan yung current through R4 and R5. So, di ba kaya nga bypass eh? Di ba? So, it's incorrect. It's not an incorrect reasoning, but it's incorrect na tawag dito, terminology. Okay? Iba yung definition ng bypass. So yung bypass dito is when you put tawag dito a wire, okay, so that yung current does not pass through R4 and R5 but instead passes through yung bypass na wire. No, so a follow-up question, no? Hindi po ba pag may short, di rin po dumadaan yung resistance sa both resistors? Well, wala ngang resistance yung dalawang resistors, di ba? So kaya dumadaan pa rin yung current dito. Dadaan pa rin yung current diyan. Okay? Pero dahil walang resistance sa R4 tsaka sa R5, okay, 0 ohms siya. 0 ohms din dito. Okay? So, wala tayong output. Wala rin tayong output voltage. But still, current passes through R4 and R5. Okay, good. Good. Pag may questions, tanong nyo lang sa chat. Okay, so, going back. So, mali. Ngayon, i-consider natin ang voltage divider circuit kung saan meron siyang load. Okay, so, balik tayo sa voltage divider. Okay, remember, okay, pag sinabing load resistance is the resistance of the device na gusto niyong provide ng voltage. Okay. Like for example, okay, meron kayong charger, di ba? Ang charger nyo acts as a voltage divider. Kasi tulad nga nung sinabi ko, yung input voltage niya is yung 220 volts na AC from the outlet. And then meron kang something that converts AC to DC. Ang tawag doon is actually a rectifier. Okay, pag-aaralan nyo din natin yan later. Okay, after natin pag-aaralan ng semiconductor circuit. Rectifier, what the rectifier does is it converts AC to DC signal. Okay, then yung DC na signal na yon is divided. Okay, you use a voltage divider circuit, okay, para makuha mo lang yung output na kailangan ng device mo. Okay? So, ang voltage divider na pinag-aralan natin before is without load resistance. Pero pag sinaksak mo na yung cellphone mo kasi or yung device mo kasi has a load resistance. At pag sinaksak mo na siya sa charger, okay, nag-apply ka rin ng additional na resistance dun sa circuit. Okay, so, ibig sabihin is this. Okay. So, nung una, okay, wala kang load, pero ngayon, maglalagay ka na ng load. Okay? So R1, R2, and RL. Tapos, V input. Okay, so anong ginagawa ng load na yan dun sa circuit? Okay. Pagdating niya dito sa point na ito, okay, pagdating niya dito sa point na yan, okay, syempre yung current magdi-divide dito at saka doon. Okay, magdi-divide yung current dito at saka doon. Okay, yung amount of current that passes through R2 or RL will depend on the magnitudes, relative magnitudes ng dalawa. Okay, so kung pareho yung R2 at saka yung RL, madi-divide yung current dun sa RL at saka sa R2. Okay, now tignan natin itong part na ito. Ano ba yung equivalent resistance nito? Ang equivalent resistance nito is 1. Okay. So equivalent resistance niyan is 1 over R2 plus 1 over RL inverse. Okay? So dito makikita nyo na actually liliit yung resistance. Okay? Depende sa mas maliit yung REQ kaysa R2 at saka sa RL. Okay? Depende sa relative magnitudes. So pag lumiit, so ang mangyayari, di ba, magiging equivalent circuit niya ngayon is this. Okay, so input and then R1 and then R equivalent. Di ba? Eh since yung R equivalent is less than R2 tsaka RL, okay, yung total current mo ngayon, okay, with RL will actually be less, okay, than the total current, okay, without RL. Okay, kasi lumiit itong, sorry, larger pala. Ah, larger. Okay? Kasi lumiit itong equivalent resistance. Okay? Dahil lumiit ito, yung total na resistance dito is smaller, which means na yung total current, okay, dito sa circuit na ito is less than yung total current dito sa circuit na ito. Okay? So, pag sinaksak niyo yung tawag dito, load ninyo, naksak niyo yung cellphone niyo sa charger, okay, actually nababawasan yung output na voltage. And that's called voltage loading. Okay? So, how do you prevent that? Siyempre, may rating yung device mo. Sabihin natin, yung cellphone ko will charge only if the voltage is 12 volts. Okay? Pero again, dahil nga sa mismong pagsaksak mo nung cellphone mo dun sa charger, mababawasan yung output na voltage. Okay? Because of the internal resistance of the device, of yung cellphone ninyo specifically. Okay? Tawag dito. How do we resolve itong problem nito? Okay, ang gagawin natin ay we make RL okay, greater than at least 10 times R2. Okay, at least. Bakit? Kasi yung R equivalent natin is defined as R2 plus 1 over RL, okay, inverse. So, if we apply this, then ang mangyayari is 1 over R2 plus 1 over 10 R2 inverse. Okay? And tawag dito, anong mangyayari dito? Itong value na to ay 10 times larger kaysa dito. So anong mangyayari dyan it will be approximately equal to 1 over R2 inverse or approximately equal to R2. Okay, so by increasing yung resistance, okay, nung load ninyo, okay, anong tawag dito? Then, ang ginagawa nyo is pinapadaan nyo lahat ng current. Okay, remember this is already 10 times, okay, this is 10 times R2. So yung current na dumadaan dito is practically the same current, okay, without the load resistance. Okay, kasi dito, ang current dito is 10 times yung current dito. So halos wala ng effect yung load resistance in that case. Okay, yung 10 na yan is just a rule, rule of thumb. Okay, but it's not tawag dito, it's not an exact science. Okay? Okay. So in reality, you cannot really design you cannot yung RL ang hindi mo pwedeng baguhin kasi yung RL is a manufacturing is a manufacturing load resistance, 'di ba? I mean hindi mo pwedeng sabihan yung mobile company mo yung iPhone mo yung Samsung or kung ano man. Hindi ang gusto ko lang na load resistance dito ay ganito. Okay? Hindi ikaw ang magdi-dictate ng load resistance. Ang nagdi-dictate ng load resistance ay yung manufacturer. So, ikaw ang magde-design ng circuit mo. So, i-design mo yung circuit in such a way na yung R2, okay, itong R2 na to is much greater than, is much less than, RL. Okay? So, ang dinedesign mo dito ay yung circuit mismo. So, ikaw ang taga-design nito. Oops. So, this is based on the load. Okay? Oops. Yeah. So, yeah. Ikaw ang pipili ng R2, ikaw ang pipili ng R1, then ikaw din pipili ng input na voltage. Okay. So, tingnan tayo ng isang example. So, let's say na meron tayong ganitong circuit. Okay. Tapos, so R1, R2, RL, and then V. So, ang V in natin is 5 volts. Okay, and ang R1 is 4.7 kilo ohms. R2 is 10 kilo ohms. And then RL. Okay, yeah. Alamin natin yung RL or given yung RL. So RL has two values, either 10 kilo ohms or 100 kilo ohms. Okay, so ang tanong dito is determine the unloaded output voltage of the voltage divider. Baka pwede natin ilipat na lang to sa next page. Copy. And then paste. Okay, ano yung unloaded? So pag unloaded na output, Okay. Oops. V out. Okay. Unloaded. Okay. From the voltage divider equation, we have R2 over RT times yung input voltage. Okay, yung R2 is 10 kilo ohms and yung total voltage is 14.7 kilo ohms. Okay. So multiplied by 5 volts. Okay, so this is equal to 3.40 volts. Okay. Now, i-recompute natin yung output na voltage, okay, if there's a load resistance of 10 kilo ohms. If RL is 10 kilo ohms, ano yung ating load resistance? Okay, so now, equivalent na resistance natin is 1 over, ano ba yung R2? 10 kilo ohms. Plus, yung load natin is also 10 kilo ohms. Okay. So this is 5 kilo ohms. Okay. So kita nyo, from ito, pag unloaded, yung resistance dito ay 10 kilo ohms. Pero once na nilagay nyo na yung load, okay, na-reduce na yung resistance dyan sa ano, as so to 5 kilo ohms. Okay? So, ano na ngayon magiging output voltage niya? So, yung output, pag yung load resistance is 10 kilo ohms, ay equal ngayon sa R2. Okay, ang R2 nyo ngayon, yung R equivalent, divided by yung total resistance. So, it's 4.7 kilo ohms plus 5 kilo ohms. Okay, ilagay na natin yung R equivalent. 5 kilo ohms times 5 volts. Okay, anong mangyayari dyan ngayon? Anong magiging output voltage? It's going to be 2.58 volts. And if you compare it with the unloaded voltage, okay, so na-reduce yung voltage from 3.40 volts to 2.58 volts. Okay. Now, let's take a look at kung yung RL ay equal sa 100 kilo ohms. So yung equivalent dito is na resistance ngayon is 1 over 10 kilo ohms divided by 1 over 100 kilo ohms. Okay. Inverse. At yung equivalent resistance para dyan ay 9.1 kilo ohms. So it's well, hindi siya exactly 10 kilo ohms, diba? Pero malapit na siya sa 10 kilo ohms. So yung output na yun dito, if RL is equal to 100 kilo ohms, ay equal ngayon sa 9.1 kilo ohms divided by 4.7 kilo ohms plus 9.1 kilo ohms times 5 volts. At equal ngayon to sa 3.30 volts. And if you compare it, okay, dun sa unloaded, okay, medyo maliit lang yung difference. Okay? So this effect is called voltage loading. Okay, and so if you want to correct for voltage loading, you have to design your circuit, okay, para ma-reduce nga yung voltage loading na yun. Questions? Okay. Now, let's take a look at another type of circuit. Ito ay Wheatstone. Tinatawag na Wheatstone Bridge. Okay. I think nakita niyo na to before. Okay, so 102, most probably. Okay, ano ang Wheatstone Bridge? Okay, so may konting skill na involved sa pag-drawing dito. Okay, dyan. Oops. Ganyan. Mm, Like I said, may konting skill sa pag-drawing na involved. Okay, okay. Yeah, pwede na siguro yan. Yan. Okay. So, this is input voltage and this is paano natin i-define? R1, R2, R3, R4. Now you take the output at these points, A and B. So dyan yung voltage output. So ang voltage output is equal to VAB or VA minus VB. The potential at point A relative to the ground. Okay, so of course yung ground ay nandito, di ba? So yan yung ground. Okay. Okay. And then yung voltage at point B is voltage relative to ground. Okay, and yung difference in voltages na yun, okay, ay yung output na voltage. Okay. Of course, you can redraw this okay, para hindi siguro tayo ganong mahirapan. Okay, like this. Okay, so ito yung point A, point B. So A, B. Okay, so yan yung output voltage. Input R1, R2, R3, R4. Okay. So, tinawag itong bridge kasi, well, essentially kasi kinukuha niya yung output okay, from ano, yung junctions A and tsaka B, which is sort of a bridge connecting yung dalawang lines na ito. Okay. Itong line na ito, tsaka itong line na ito. So meron kang bridge okay, that connects okay, yung circuit na yun. Or yung dalawang lines na yun. Okay? So Wheatstone is the name of the person who discovered this. Okay. Uh, okay. If the output voltage okay, is zero, okay, ang tawag natin, tinatawag natin na yung bridge is balanced. Okay? Ibig sabihin, VA is equal to VB. Okay? Sige, test natin kayo. How tawag dito? How are VA and VB related to R1, R2, R3, and R4? Remember now, VA is the voltage across point A with respect to ground, and yung VB is the voltage across point B and yung ground. Any suggestions? Hindi necessarily the same. Actually, yun yung madederive natin yung relationship. Sorry. May question dito. Stated po ba na equal ang values ng resistors? So, ang sagot dun is hindi necessarily the same. And yung magiging tawag dito, mathematical analysis natin later will show how each of these resistors are related to each other. Okay, so it could be any resistance. Okay, any other guess? Okay, yun yung actually nagbigay na ako ng hint. Ang hint ko is point A, okay, is the output voltage with respect, VA is the output voltage with respect to point, VA is the output voltage at point A with respect to the reference. And VB is the output voltage at point B with respect to the reference. So yun yung hint ko. Hindi necessarily. May question din ulit. VA is equal to VB. Well, yes, yun yung isang condition, pero it's not always the case. Okay. So, kailangan nyo isolve separately yung VA at saka VB bago nyo makuha yung output voltage, which is yung VA minus VB. So, how do we get VA and how do we get VB? Meron bang familiar dito? Yes, okay. So merong isa sa mga guests na mga klase nyo, it is a voltage divider. Dalawang voltage divider siya. Di ba? You use the voltage divider equation at point A and then another voltage divider at point B. Okay, good. Okay, so galing nyo sa pag-analyze ng circuit. So VA, ngayon, okay, since it's a voltage divider, it's R3 over R1 plus R2 times input voltage. And remember this, the voltage across this junction and this junction, okay, ay pareho lang, okay, regardless kung dito or dito kasi parallel sila sa isa't isa. Okay, and VB is equal to R4 over R2 plus R4 times V input. Oops, bakit may R3 doon? Ay, tama, R3. Ito dapat ay R3. Okay. Okay, so ang output voltage natin dito is equal to VA minus VB. Okay. And equal to sa R3, okay, over R1 plus R3 plus R4 over R2 plus minus. R4 times V. Okay? Now, so balik tayo dun sa case na na balanced yung bridge. If VA is equal to VB, what can you say about V1, V2, V3, and V4? Ano yung tawag dito? Relative na ano nila? Relative na, ang tawag dito? Ano yung relationships nila sa isa't isa? Okay, remember that VA is actually, okay, di ba ito? VA is actually V3 and VB is actually V4. Voltage across R4. And if VA is equal to VB, then V3 is equal to V4. Tama? Okay, kung balance yung bridge. Okay. If VA is equal to VB, then V3 is equal to V4. Tama ba? It also holds na yung ratio ng V1, which is yung voltage, okay, across R1, okay, ratio ng V1 at saka ng V3, okay, ratio between yung voltage across R1 at R3 ay equal sa ratio ng voltage between R2 tsaka R4. Okay? Agree ba kayo doon? Kasi total voltage is the same naman, di ba? So kung V3 ay equal sa V4, then yung V1 will also be equal to V2. Di ba? So the ratios, okay, V1 over V3 dun sa isang branch ay equal sa ratios na V2 over tsaka V4 dun sa pangalawang branch. Okay. May sense ba yan? Okay. So now we can write I1 R1, which is V1, and then I3 R3, which is V3, equals sa I2 V2, which is R2. And then I4 R4, which is V4. Okay? But I1 and I3 are equal kasi nasa isang branch lang sila. Tama? So this is I1 equal to I3 dun sa branch na yan. And then I2 ay equal din sa I4 dito sa pangalawang branch. Okay? Which means na, okay, R1 over R3 ay equals R2 over R4. Okay? Since I1 ay equals sa I3 and I2 ay equals sa I4. Okay? So for a balanced bridge, ito yung relationship, okay, between the resistances. Okay. Any questions? Consider natin ito isang example. Okay, the input are X and then 1,200 ohms. Tapos ito ay 150 ohms. And then ito ay 100, 100 ohms. Okay, so determine the value R, Rx. Okay, if the bridge is balanced. Okay, so from yung tawag dito equation na derive natin kanina, Rx over 1,200 ohms ay equals sa 150 ohm divided by 100 ohms. So from here, Rx ay equals sa 1,800 ohms or 1.8 kilo ohms. Okay. Now let's consider this example. V in V in and then R2, R4 to R3 at ito ay R okay, term. Okay, term. Okay. Ang input voltage dito is 12 volts. I-describe ko kung ano yung R term in a bit. Pero R2 muna, it's 1 kilo ohm. R4 is 1 kilo ohm. And R3 is 1 kilo ohm. Now, ano itong R term? Okay, ano ba yung device na yan in the first place? Okay, yung device na yan okay, is called a transducer. Okay, in general, okay, well, ano ko ba nalagay? So this is called a transducer. A transducer is actually a general term. Okay, for any device okay, that converts an analog signal okay, to an electrical signal. Okay, pag sinabing analog signal, maraming ano yan, maraming types. Okay. In this particular case, ang analog signal ay temperature. Okay, so this device converts temperature to electrical current and therefore electrical voltage. Okay, so how does it do that? Okay, well, there's a device called a thermistor. Okay, and it changes resistance depende sa kung ano yung temperature. Okay, external temperature. So this specific na device is called a transducer is called a thermistor. Okay, kaya R term yung ginagamit natin na term dyan. Okay. So R okay, now tawag dito. Siyempre kinakalibrate yang ano na yan, kinakalibrate yang thermistor. Okay. And yung calibration niya is in such a way na ang resistance ng thermistor na yan is 1 kilo ohm when the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Okay? So yan yung ano niya, yun yung reference. Okay? Okay. Now, upon reading, okay, tawag dito, na-measure ninyo na yung yung temperature ng thermistor, okay, decreased actually to 900 ohms. Okay. So now the temperature of the thermistor decreased to 900 ohms when you expose it to something that emits 50 degrees Celsius na temperature. Okay. So, ano ngayon yung output voltage between A and B? Okay, hindi ko nabanggit na itong calibration na ito is only done when the bridge is balanced. So when the bridge is balanced, yung our therm is 1 kilo ohm. Okay, it's balanced at room temperature. Okay? So, ano ngayon yung our VAB dito? So, na-derive mo natin yan kanina. Ang VAB is equal to, okay, so, di ba, voltage divider, VA is this, so R4 over R2 plus R4 minus, ang VB naman ay dito, okay, ang VB is R3 over R3 plus R therm. Okay, multiplied by 12 volts. Okay, alam naman natin lahat ng value na yan. So this is 1 kilo ohm. Okay, this is, lahat sila ay 1 kilo ohm. Diba? So 2 kilo ohms minus 1 kilo ohm divided by 1.9 kilo ohms. Kasi 900 ohms na lang yung thermistor. Okay, yung resistance ng thermistor. So VAB now becomes 0.32 volts. Okay, actually negative 0.32 volts. VAB. Kasi mas malaki yung voltage dito. No, mas malaki yung voltage dito kumpara dito. Okay, kasi mas mababa to. Okay. Okay, so it's negative 32 volts. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So maraming pinagagamitan ng tawag dito, ng Wheatstone Bridge. Maraming applications din yung Wheatstone Bridge. In fact, yung mga pinag-aaral natin ngayon, okay, ay tawag dito, mga fundamental elements. Okay, fundamental elements sa isang circuit. Okay? Okay. Titingnan lang ako ng examples na pwede natin i-solve at the end of the chapter. Okay. So, yung example na i-discuss natin uses exactly the same circuit. Okay, so itong circuit pa rin na to. Okay? Uh, well, not exactly kasi yung input voltage natin is 9 volts in this case. Okay? So sa example na i-discuss natin ngayon, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and R1, R2 is equal to 1 kilo ohm. Okay, R3 is equal to 1 kilo ohm. R4 is also equal to 1 kilo ohm. And then V in is 9 volts. Okay, yung thermistor, okay, uh, ay merong calibrated, okay, na resistance na 1 kilo ohm, okay, at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, at meron siyang positive thermal coefficient, okay, na 5 ohms, okay, per degrees Celsius. 5 ohms per degrees Celsius. Okay. Ibig sabihin ng thermal coefficient is that nagbabago yung tawag dito. Yun yung coefficient that describes yung change ng resistance, okay, per unit temperature. Change in resistance, okay, per unit temperature. So pag tawag dito, pag nagbago yung temperature from 25 degrees Celsius to tawag dito, 30 degrees Celsius, magbabago siya by 5 ohms. Madadagdagan ng 5 ohms. Okay? Pag from 25 to 100, okay, madadagdagan ng 15 ohms. Okay? Ngayon, anong ibig sabihin ng positive na thermal coefficient? It's positive. Okay, pag positive the thermal coefficient, ang change is, tawag dito, going up. So, pag nag-increase yung temperature, mag-increase din yung resistance. On the other hand, pag negative na thermal coefficient, okay, pag nag-increase yung temperature, magdi-decrease yung resistance. So, babawasan mo siya. So, for example, if negative thermal coefficient is 5 ohms per degree Celsius, then mababawasan ng 5 ohms for every degree Celsius yung na-increase in temperature. So yun yung ibig sabihin ng positive tsaka negative. Okay, so dito, ang temperature na minimeasure is 65 degrees Celsius. So the temperature is 65 degrees Celsius. So ano yung change dun sa resistance? So the change in resistance is equal to 5 ohms, okay, per degree Celsius multiplied by 65 degrees Celsius minus 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, so 5 times 40, okay, is 200 ohms. Okay, so yung R term natin ngayon is equal to 1.2 kilo ohms. Okay, dinagdag natin kasi positive na thermal coefficient siya. Okay, so ano na yung VA, okay, minus VP. Okay, so again, the equation is R4 over R2 plus R4 minus R3 over R3 plus R term multiplied by V in. Okay, or equal to sa 1 kilo ohm divided by 2 kilo ohms and then 1 kilo ohm minus divided by 1 plus 1.2, so 2.2 kilo ohms. Okay, multiplied by 9 volts. So VA minus VB. Okay, ay equal ngayon sa. So, check natin. 9 times 0.5 minus 1 over 2.2. Okay. Negative. Ay, hindi. Positive. Positive. 0.41. Okay, volts. Positive din yata to. Kasi mas maliit ito, no? Mas maliit ito. Okay, so positive pala to. Ay, hindi. Mas malaki. Mas malaki. Tama yun. So, negative yan. Ito positive kasi mas maliit. Okay, so, positive 4.1 volts. Okay. So, ang ibig sabihin yan, if the temperature changes by 40 degrees at mineasure nyo yung output voltage at these terminals, then makakuha kayo ng 41.41 ng change in voltage na 0.41 volts. Okay? Paano ma-determine if actually i-calculate nyo lang. Calculate mo lang yan. In this case, wait, ang tanong mo ba ay ano ibig mo sabihin? Sorry, may question dito. Paano po ma-determine if positive or negative? Ang tanong mo is ba yung final answer or aling part dito yung tinatanong mo, yung thermal coefficient ba? Yung thermal coefficient. Okay, actually ano yan, rating yan na binibigay ng manufacturers. Okay? So, pag meron kayong ganyan mga klaseng devices, okay, transducer, okay, any device ay merong tinatawag na data sheet which is freely available sa internet. Okay, para malaman nyo kung ano yung characteristics nung device. So for a thermistor such as this, meron yang manufacturer na name and then yung number, tawag dito number nung item. Okay? And then isi-search mo lang yan sa internet yung identity nung thermistor. Okay? Tapos ibibigay niya na yung characteristics ng thermistor na yan. And doon mo makukuha kung anong thermal properties niya. Kung positive yung thermal coefficient or negative yung thermal coefficient. Okay, in this case, given na positive yung thermal coefficient. Okay. It's given kasi nga it's a manufacturer tawag dito. It depends on the manufacturer. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Sige. Kung wala nang tanong, we'll end here and then we'll continue yung analysis later. sa next na meeting. Okay. Yeah, thank you for coming, and see you later sa 181.